Right, so here's the pump in question. So you can see that's probably, well, it says Mark II on there, so that tells you how old it is. Probably one of the early Grundfos pumps. Pump valve's been leaking, so they're going to get changed. This AAV here, that's not in a good way as well. So going to be swapping out the AAV, the pump, and the pump valves.
Welcome everyone. Yes, I'm in a vest. Yes, I need a haircut. No, I'm not trying to be like Nick Bundy because I know he loves a vest. I'm just thinking a vest because it's finally a warm spring evening and I don't have to be wrapped up in a hoodie. Having said that, let's see. Bank holiday weekend, it's meant to be a washout. It wasn't today. Let's see how the rest of the weekend goes. You can probably tell by my voice, I'm a little bit bunged up. I'm also, I'd say, probably on the back end of a cold, starting to recover from. I'm at that phlegmy stage now, which I'm sure you want to hear all about this. Anyway, I'm just sitting here editing the video that you're about to watch, and it's pump changes. But yeah, one pump change was easy, another pump change wasn't so easy. Have you had this before? What's your way of getting these pump valves off when you come across them where they're absolutely crusted over? I used to have the DeWalt hand saw. Well, not used to, I've still got it. But then obviously I got the Recip a little while ago. And now I'm just looking for any excuse to use it. And it actually did come in really handy for this job. So yeah, have a watch. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you've had a great bank holiday weekend. And whatever you're doing tomorrow, make the most of it. I don't know if it's still going to be raining tomorrow or not. We'll find out. But enjoy the short week as well. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good one.
Okay, so one of my jobs today is to change the central heating pump, which we've got here. So it's Grundfos UPS 2, which is making like a rumbling sound, grinding sound. So I was here a few days ago to do a full service on the boiler, and customer pointed this out to me. So I said, yeah, no problem. I'll come back and get the pump sorted. Now this system, I've actually power flushed before, so this was on another video like ages ago. So if I remember correctly, the gate valves did hold. I mean, they look newish. I think we might have even changed the gate valves. Do you know what? I can't remember. But yeah, I should be able to just shut the gate valves off and swap the pump head over. Where is my one? The new one. So got replacement pump head. There we go. So that should be a direct swap over for that one. Okay, so got it in. Top valve wasn't shutting off properly, so it was letting by a bit, but luckily there's a little cloth down there, so that's caught most of the water. And here's the old pump. So when we power flushed it, we took the pump out and went straight into the pump valves. But obviously this pump was already been affected, so it's getting, well, it's been swapped out now. Let's open up the pump valves. I believe it's this one. Yeah. This little ratchet is well handy for tight spaces like this. Right, that's open fully. Snap this open fully. Now, just got to take the cable out of there and wire it into there. Right, it's back on. Wiring in was a bit tricky. I had to literally get my head sideways through there to get to the cable inches on the side, but that's all running sweet. Okay, so I've done a couple of jobs today, but I haven't really filmed it because it wasn't interesting. The one I did after that pump, I had to change 3 radiator valves at another job. Pressurized system, dump the pressure off, got the rad valves changed, so that's all fine. This one though is interesting. It's another pump I've got to change, but it's an old Grundfos pump. The pump valves are all shot as well. The AAV is leaking. It's an open vent system. So I've got all the bits with me. Let's go inside. Let's have a look. All right, so here's the pump in question. So you can see that's probably, well, it said Mark II on there, so that tells you how old it is. For one of the early Grundfos pumps. Pump valve's been leaking, so they're going to get changed. This AAV here, that's not in a good way as well. So going to be swapping out the AAV, the pump, and the pump valves. Now, I've had it before where these pump valves, where they're so badly corroded, you can't actually get them off. So that's why I've got the new Recip with me in case I do need to physically cut the valves off. Now, it's a open vent system. There is a boiler fix on the cold feed, but I'm not going to touch that for 2 reasons. Firstly, there's a chance that it could leak, and secondly, it could block up, which I don't want. So I've got to go into the loft anyway because I've got to bung the vent pipe. So I'm just going to put a bung in the F&E tank as well for the feed. So that will basically keep all that water in there, or get rid of, it will stop the water coming out from the tank. And then what I'll probably do first is change the AAV, because that will allow me to take the pressure off the system, and then I'll do the pump, because obviously I've got more connections here to worry about on the pump side, whereas that's just one connection. So we'll start with that and then deal with this. So let's jump up in the loft and get that tank bunged, and then we can make a start on this. Right, I've been up in the loft and I've bunged the F&E tank. I would have taken the camera up there, but it's quite tight up there where the F&E tank is. What's strange though, obviously vent pipe here is 22, but where it goes up into the loft, it's reduced down to 15. But then there's also, hang on, this vent is in 15. Unless they've got the vents the wrong way around up there. Because that's the central heating vent. Because upstairs there's 2 vent pipes. One is obviously running in 15, which is over the F&E tank. And then there's another one running in 22, which is going over the cold water storage tank. So it looks like, I think the vent pipes have been crossed. So I need to go back up there to bung this one, because, yeah, I need to double check that, because I think they've crossed it where they've gone up into love. They put that over the F&E tank and that over the cold water storage tank, which is wrong. So if that ever pumps over, that's going to pump over into the cold water tank. Right, let me go back up there and see what's going on and flip that around if I need to. Okay, so it is correct up there. They're both vent pipes are 15 mil. So it looks like this is just reducing down. So I just went up there and I shook the vent pipe upstairs, and I got the customer here to just check that this is the one that was shaking. So that confirms, because we've got 2 15 mil vent pipes. I can't see where they're reducing because it's right in the eaves of the loft. But yeah, I have bunged the correct one. Killed the power to that, not touching that. Gonna set the wet back up just in case and get this swapped over first. That's just on a 15 mil nut and olive, so got a new AAV to go on there, and then we'll tackle this framework. It might have to come out so I can get access to it. But we'll see what we can do. Let's deal with that first. Right, AAV is done, so I've just put a rubber bag below it just to catch any of the water that came out of there. So that's done. whilst I was getting the pressure of that, I've just disconnected the cabling from the pump. So now let's tackle this. Right, let's try and get this pump down. So I've literally just put the rubber bag down there, pulled it up behind the pipe work there. So I am going to try to undo the nuts, but I don't think I'm going to have much luck. So that's why I've got that ready in case I need to cut them off. But let's try to undo them. But yeah, I'm not holding my breath. I managed to get the old pump off, so I cut the top pump valve, and then there's a bit of movement on that off the back of that 3-port, so I managed to swing that pipe up, undid the nut from there, so that's out. You can see that's seen much better days. But have a look at the pipe work, all that sludge in the side there, it's all hard as well. Right, let's get a new pump valve on there. Do that up, get the new pump in, and then undo this, put a new valve on here, and then nip that up as well. Okay, new pump valves are on, so I've kept them closed off even though there's no water coming out of it anyway because the tank's been bunged. But let's now get the new pump in. I'm using the new rubber washers that come with it as well, so good thing about these, you don't need to go mad on these nuts. Firstly, it's only on gravity anyway, so there's not a lot of pressure, but because it's rubber washers, I normally hand tight and then nip them up with a pair of grips. You don't need to do too much. When I first started off, I used to do this really tight, and then the washer sometimes gets pinched inside, so I learned a valuable lesson after that. Well, I don't know if it recorded because I had the camera set up there, but it frozen, so I don't know if it recorded me putting the pump back together, but that's in. So I did have to use grips on them because I could only get them hand tight so much because of the tight gap between this bit of wood. But that's in. I've nipped that connection up on the 3-port as well. Gate valves are shut at the moment, so I'm now going to go up in the loft, release the bungs, let the water in, then open up the gate valves on the pump to make sure we've got no leaks or anything like that. As long as that's all good, then I'll wire up the pump, we'll turn it on and test it, and then hopefully it should all be good. Right, bungs are out. I've just opened up that bottom one. Let's open up this top one. The F&E tank upstairs did start to fill a little bit. So obviously when I did that AAV, a bit of water did come out of it. So let's get this. Right, that's fully open. That's all good, no leaks. That AAV, there we go. Release the air out of that AAV. That's doing its thing. There we go, I can hear some gurgling, which is good, which means the water is filling back into the system. Let's open up this 3-port manually as well. If I can get to the spindle. It's all so tightly boxed in. There we go. Okay. Right. That's in the manually open position. All right, looking good. It's looking good. Right, let's get this wired up and then we can turn it on and test it. Right, that's all wired in. Let's reset that. Put that on. Yeah, sounds a good sign. Pumps come on. We've got circulation. So now I'm just going to wait for the boiler to fire up and make sure we've got heat going through everywhere. Make sure everything's getting nice and warm. No leaks, no airlocks.